Hello everybody, my name is Draconic and welcome back to another Driving Empire YouTube video. Now I'm recording this video today because I believe, as of recently, the Driving Empire's chassis is fundamentally flawed. Let's get right into the video. Now if you don't know what a chassis is on a Roblox car game, it's essentially, think of it this way, it's what allows the cars to drive in a game and handle bumps, handle accelerating, slowing down, turning. All of these things are controlled by a model called a chassis. Lots of car games have different chassis. There's of course the A chassis and other modifications of it that are really popular, but Driving Empire has its own chassis, and recently it got replaced by Voldex a couple months back. Now that chassis has been great until recently. It's had really good responses to bumps and going over jumps in the game. It had far less high rates of hitting bumps in the road that are completely flat and flipping the car and destroying the car and whatnot. And old Driving Empire, if you watch people do races like on the high level like I used to, you'll hear a lot of complaints about cars flipping over on jumps, cars bumping and slipping out of the nowhere, and that's still kind of the case, but it's a lot better than it used to be until recently. Now it's sort of the same, but the new chassis is a lot smoother and it's much better for racing and whatnot and for driving around. But the problem comes with fast cars and just really any car as of the last updates. So let me explain what the problem is here. And the simplest way to explain that is to show you. So on a flat surface, it takes this car between 7 and 8 seconds, closer to 8 seconds to get all the way to 371 miles an hour at its top speed. On a hill, it takes 4.8 seconds. It takes less than 5 seconds going up a hill. It is 3 to 4 seconds faster to get this car, with bad acceleration mind you, to its top speed compared to on a flat surface. It's much quicker to use the hills. And that herein is the problem. Cars on races with hills, so cross country, circuit, all the races basically, except for Dragon, maybe a little bit of highway, they all have crazy fast accel going up hills and they become uncontrollable. Now this is obviously a huge problem. Background footage here sort of just proves it. As you see, we're going to go in real time. As the Bugatti Bolide, fake Bugatti I'm driving, goes up hills, you can see it gains speed exponentially fast. And for a race in cross country, you see it just goes from 200 to 300 in like a second. Because this is a car with really good acceleration. And that makes it really hard to drive. And its brakes are bad, so that's another plus for it being really difficult to drive. But like, for instance, look at this corner. As you go, we see we're already at 310 miles an hour and we've accelerated for like 2 seconds. That's obviously wrong, and that's just not going to work. And if I, an experienced player, often have issues with my car sliding into walls and spinning out, even with all-wheel drive, the best grippy tires, if I, a person with this much experience, still have some trouble controlling these cars, I think a new player will find them uncontrollable and undrivable. And that's why I made the thumbnail the way it did with the undrivable sticker on the top, because I think new players are not going to be able to drive these cars very well, especially cars like the Ravana Racer, the Bugatti Bolide, the Dev 16. These cars are not going to be easy to drive, and that might be good for me because it'll be easier for me to beat other players in the race, but that's not the point. The point is I want you guys to have a fun experience with these cars. Let me get an example of how the fake Bolide used to be. So here's some footage from our old record run. You can see the car is fine right now. The real issue is going uphill. When we come up to the hill, it's really smooth. We slow down and we take the corner really well. And you can see how easy it is and how smooth it is as I go up the hill. It is sliding a lot, and that was an old problem that we used to have a bunch. But notice how, compared to the new clip, when we drive, it's just absolutely abhorrent. You see it accelerating. We go from 200 miles an hour to the top speed instantly, and it's a lot less clean than it should be. Now of course if you drive perfectly it can be remediated, but the problem is still very clear, and that's that the car is way too fast. Simple as that, really. With that explanation out of the way, I think it's time to talk about a solution. Now my preferred solution, which might be hard to implement, I mean, you can see how fat crazy it is right there, right? My solution that I want to implement, or what I would do, is either revert to the old chassis or patch this silly bug as soon as possible. Make the cars slower, for one. The cars are too fast as it stands, and that's part of the reason why the chassis isn't working so well, is that the cars are just too fast to begin with. Now when the cars are stock, it's fine. The cars are really realistic when they're stock. The problem is that the upgrade system is one, too expensive and pricey, and two, it makes the cars way too quick. And that breaks the game. It breaks the game experience for racing. It makes it not as fun as it really could be, and really nowhere near as fun as it used to be. My problem with it is simple. It's that's the problem to me. Now, I know there's another option you could choose, which is just fix the bug and move on. Don't nerf any of the cars. Don't reset the leaderboards, but that's probably the option that they're going to do because it's obviously the easiest. But what I would do is, it's really simple. It's just roll back or patch this bug. It's been out for months. It's been a problem for ages. But now it's even worse. It's unplayable in some instances. It's still really easy to play the game, of course, but with some cars, it's just incredibly hard to drive. And that's not how it should be in this game. And this game has become less and less and less and less and less and less realistic as time has gone on. And that's never been a problem for me. But we're getting to the point where, like, come on, what's next? Flying cars? Don't do. Voldex is gonna do it. I know they're gonna do it. I mean, I saw what they did with the islands. That's cool and all. It's an event, but still, come on, Voldex, fix your game. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. Consider subscribing. We don't have very many subscribers right now. 90% of you or so don't actually subscribe. Very lame of you. So if you're not subscribed, consider fixing that. Leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.